Good morning, students, and Jai Hind. In our previous classes, we discussed a lot about the literary development or growth of literature during the Caliphate's period or in the Islamic states. We have already discussed about that, and further now connecting or the now advancing that study of the literary development. Now we shall now enter. I am going to enter the and the travel geography and the travel just entered into the world of adab or into the branches of the study of adab. Understand? Adab, the rehla means the travel, and as well as the geography. Okay, about that, those study of geography and the rehla means the traveling accounts. These were also included in the study of the adab. Understand? Adab, a cultural study of the adab or a literary and the cultural values of the literature, cultural values of the literature. Understand? Under the other were included. So we are going to focus today this combined knowledge. Now the geography and the travelings. Understand? These were also one of the part of the literature in Islamic state. Now we know that now this had been the nature or have been the nature of the world. People from the different part of the country have been the interconnected regarding the uh, regarding the regarding for regarding the mercantilism or regarding their trade connections, or they have been the migrating from one place to other places, or moreover they have been they have been people have been making their travelings for getting the information and the knowledge about this world. Understand? So now these accounts, what the people used to go in different places and the parts of the world. Understand? From there they used to write down, and they used to bring the accounts. They used to write the accounts about those places of the curiosity. Understand? About the strange places. So this also became the part of the literature, and moreover, this combined knowledge from the Greek and this geographical knowledge, and as well as the knowledge from the accounts of the travels. These combined with the from the Greek knowledge or the Iranian and the Indian books with the observation of the merchants and the travelers. Now I have already mentioned that the merchants and the travelers used to go in the different parts of the world. Understand? They traveled in different parts of the world for the purpose of having their trade connections. They travels, merchants travels with their goods. Understand? Or and for bringing the goods and for supplying the goods, and as well as the capital, culture, travelers, many now the interaction, inter boundary just interaction have been existing in the since the thousands of the years. Understand? So as students, now the merchants and travelers, their accounts are in mathematical geography. Now the people started, and the scholars now started to produce the mathematical geography. The inhabited world was divided, or they through the mathematical geography they tried to measure this world and measure this earth, and under this process the inhabited world was divided into the 7 climes or the eclipse. 7 eclipse parallel with the equator. Understand? The world was divided in 7 eclipse or in parallel with the equators and corresponding to our three continents. Understand? And this was corresponding the three continents, the exact position of each cities. Now in these geographical accounts, understand exact where these travelers or the geographers, they traveled in the different parts of the world. Now they produced the exact position of each city was determined astronomically. The exact position of the each city began to be the drawn, okay, or the determined according to the astronomical measurement or astronomical situation. And moreover, uh, Mukadasi, Mukadasis, Mukadasis, descriptive geography. Understand Mukadasi, Mukadashi, a descriptive geography. Now, name the its a name is the Ahsan al Kashim, Takashim, Ahsan al Takasim, Ahsan al Takasim. The best divisions is a comparative study of the countries, or under in this Ahsan al Takasim. Understand this produced and it provides the a comparative studies of the different countries of the world, and moreover and the peoples of the world and the treasure. This is the one of the books of the curiosity. This is the this book is the full of the knowledge and the full of the stories of the curiosity, and moreover geography and the general history. Or further we can see that the geography and the general history combined the general history were the combined in the Muruj Muruj al Dhahab. Muruj al Dhahab means the golden meadows. Understand? This is the book and the text combined the geographical knowledge and as well as the historical knowledge, and named as a Muruj al Dhahab, golden meadows, and this was composed by the Al-Mashudi. And now to illustrate the wide variety of the worldly cultures, or in this Al-Masudi have tried to depict and written the wide and varieties of the cultures of the world and cultures of the different countries. This has been the produced under the golden meadows. Okay. Further we see that Al-Biruni. Understand? I have already mentioned that Al-Biruni. Now he had written a book Tahqiqat-e-Hind. Understand? He was under the court and darbar of the courts of under the court of the Muhammad Ghaznavi, and when the Muhammad Ghaznavi made the invasion upon the India. Understand? So Al-Biruni had also come, and he was so much interested in the writing of in the history writing about India that he learned especially or particularly Sanskrit, although he was the well versed in the different languages, in the Greek or the many languages. He was the well versed in Arabic, Greek language, Persian, Sanskrit, Hebrew, many languages he learned. Understand? He was the well versed, or particularly for knowing the history of the India, knowing the history about the cultures of India. He studied, and then after he produced one of the best book and the one of the book which Tahqiqat-e-Hind. This book now cast or the focus on the social history of India, cultural history of India, religious history of India, and particularly he had now given his own views over the Indian caste system. Al-Biruni, understand? Tahqiqat-e-Hind, in that caste system, or he had his own notion and own philosophical expression about the caste system, and he compared the caste system from the or compared the social system and social organization of the Central Asia with that of the Indians social organization. Understand? The now way and about the caste system, how this was not a just caste system, and it was based on the evils. Now he had tried to he had tried to and he had indicated to and thrown the lights towards the drawbacks of the Indian caste system. Understand, which were the existing those times when he visited India, when he came to the India. Now further we can see that a Muslim writer looked beyond the world of Islam, or now he not only described the social system of the Islam, but he was much concerned and he was interested in the writing of the Indian social system, beyond the Hindu social system, and observe what are the value in another culture and traditions. And then after he tried to find out the values and tried to know about the values of the Indian cultures. Understand? And getting the knowledge about the values of the Indian cultures. So we see that now the cultural traveling accounts and those who visited in our country or different parts of they now gathered and through the acquiring this knowledge they compiled their own text and the books. Further, by the 10th century, Islamic world had emerged easily recognizable by the travelers, and now Islamic world, understand, had emerged. We know already. I have mentioned that how the caliphs and the others and the Turks made their dominations over the vast territories of the Central Asia and some parts of the Europe and and northern part of the Africa or the and up to the Transoxiana. How they now set up there and now here is that one whosoever travel in the Islamic world or the in the Islamic area or the territories, the one could easily understand. One could easily understand the area. That area is under the Islamic control or under the Islamic culture. So now how? Because by the by acquiring and by the looking at the structures. These were the structures now reflected the Islamic culture where the Islams had established. And the travelers, religious buildings were the greatest external symbols. And now one could recognize the Islamic cities or the Islamic areas by the structures. And the buildings were the greatest external symbol of the Islamic world. These buildings or the structure reflected the features of the Islamic structure. So it was very easy for a traveler and for a traders and the travelers to recognize the area as the Islamic area. Now, and what the features were that now in that is Islamic world, how one could understand the Islamic world, understand this is the Islamic cities or one the cities of the Muslim cities had its own features. The first features were mosque, shrine and tombs. From Spain to the Central Asia, the mosque, shrine and tombs from Spain to the Central Asia had been constructed in a similar fashion or the design. Understand? Similar fashion and showed the same basic design or the showed the and shown the same basic designs and the basic features or the similar basic features and it was the very because of that it was the very easy for recognizing Islamic cities or the cities. What the features were that from Spain to the Central Asia, the first features were that that is a mosque and the mosque and shrines, arches. First, second, domes, minarets, or the open courtyards. Understand? The mosques were built in such a design, and moreover expresses the spiritual and practical needs of the Muslim. And these buildings now reflected the spiritual and the practical and spiritual needs of the Islamic people. Understand? And moreover, in the first Islamic century, mosque acquired a distinctive features. In the first Islamic century, one can the distinct architectural form. The mosque took a Islamic century mosque acquired a certain features. It had the distinctive features. What the features? Architectural form, roof supported by pillars. In the mosque, roofs were, and these roofs were supported by pillars. First thing. Second, which transcended regional variation, but at the regional level, these were the these had the certain certain differences or the certain changes at the regional level. I am talking, not at the greater level, at the regional and the local level, with the certain transcendent changes. Okay. Further, you see that the mosque had an open courtyard. In every mosque had a open courtyard first, and where a fountain pond was placed, and in this courtyard, in the middle of courtyard, one could get, understand, and can get a fountain. A fountain pond was placed leading to the vaulted hall, and from there, from there a leading to the vaulted hall, which could accommodate long lines of the worshippers. In the that vaulted hall, a long line of the worshippers could be accommodated there. Could be well accommodated long lines of the worshipper and the prayer leaders imam. Understand? With the prayer leaders imam. Okay, so this vaulted hall had the capacity of adjusting the huge number of believers there, and they could. The special features were located, and the more special features were located inside the hall. Inside the hall, there were certain features of features. First, a mihrab in the hall. There was a mihrab, used to be the mihrab in the wall, indicating in the wall there were mihrab that indicating the direction of the Makkah Qibla. It now directed towards the Makkah. Understand? This mihrab indicated the direction towards the Makkah and the Qibla, and a minbar. There was a minbar from where the sermons were delivered, and where there were minbar, and from the minbar the sermons to the sermons by the imam. Okay, sermons was delivered during the noon or during the noon prayer on a Friday. On a Friday, sermons were delivered from the minbar. We can say the minbar. From there, sermons were delivered on the Friday. Attached to the building was a minarets, and attached to this building was a minarets, a tower, along a very high tower, used to call the presence or used to call the faithful of to the prayer at the appointed times. And this minutes was high minutes was used to call this tower was used to call the believers to appointed day at the appointed times. From the minarets they were called upon. Understand? And moreover times, and to symbolize the presence of a new faith, and this symbolizes the presence of a new faith. Times was marked in the cities when they have to be gathered for the prayer, or the in the villages they have to be together. So this was the marked by the time, or 5 times daily. Every daily they have to be the offered their prayers for the 5 times prayer, and they have to be the listen the weekly sermons. Understand? So these were the timed, timed or the timed bound, or these were the fixed in the time. So maybe one can understand the features of the Muslim state or the Muslim cities and the towns. Understand? Or every cities and towns. We have already talked that these in the markets places mosque was present there. Understand? And for their beliefs, or the beliefs of the for the express their beliefs or their beliefs and their prayers. Okay, we can see that. Moreover, students, for the same pattern of construction of building, and this construction of buildings have the similar features in all over the world, the Islamic world, and wherever the Islam set up their, or set up their rules, wherever the same patterns of construction of the buildings built around the central courtyards. In the central courtyards, the same kind of the buildings were built, appeared not only in the mosque and the mausoleums. Same kinds of the buildings were designed or the made apart from the mausoleums and the mosque, even in the Karma Sharai, where the guests and the Karma and the travelers used to stay at the night. Understand? And for the rest of their long journey, understand, used to take a rest at the Karma Sarai. So the structure and the buildings of the Karma Sarai were now built in a similar way, and moreover the hospitals and the palaces were also built in the similar way. The Umayyad built the desert palace. Now the Umayyads were the fond of the buildings construction. So they constructed the desert palaces in the oasis, where there were the vegetation in the deserts area, where they constructed huge palaces for their rest and for their comforts. Understand? Or the palaces in the oasis, or such the Khirbat al Mafjar, Khirbat al Mafjar in Philistine. Now the Abbaside and the Umayyads have got built the Khirbat al Mafjar in Philistine, or Kushair Amra in Jordan. They have now got constructed the palaces, and which is served as a luxurious residence. These were the luxurious residence for and the retreats from the hunting and the pleasure. Whenever the caliphs were on the hunting, understand, or on the hunting, or on the any other campaigns, understand, the when after the hunting and campaigns, whenever they retreated from there, so then after they used to take the rest and the comfort, ease and comforts in these buildings, in these palaces. Now the two palaces, one palaces in Philistine, second palaces in the Jordan, which served as a luxurious residence for the retreat of hunting and the pleasure. The palaces model on the Roman, and one thing is that these palaces were formed on the Roman and Sasanian architecture. Romans, understand, means the Byzantine Empire's culture influenced by the Byzantine architectures, and Sasanian means the Iranian culture, Persian culture. So these buildings were influenced by the Iranian and Persian architectures, were lavishly decorated with the sculptures, and that's why these buildings were the lavishly decorated with the sculptures mosaics, mosaics or sculptures, or the paintings of the people, or the many paintings of the people. So these where these designs or the found particularly had been taken from the Roman civilization, Roman architectures, and as well as the Sasanian. So this clearly clears the influence of the Romans architecture or Sasanians architecture. Understand? So now we can see that on the architectures and the structure. Understand? So now the Islamic structure was influenced by the other structural designs. Understand? And further, a mosaic and the paintings. Abbasid built a new imperial city in Samarra amidst the gardens, a garden city. The Abbasid, we can see Abbasid built a imperial city in Samarra. Samarra, a garden imperial city, and the running waters there. A very beautiful city they got constructed, which the mentioned in the stories and the legends. Although there is no any existence of the remnants of these buildings, but in the stories, one stories of revolving around the Harun al-Rashid. Understand? Now the stories and the legends we find about that cities names. The greatest palace of the Abbasid caliphs was the greatest palace Abbasid caliphs in Baghdad, or the Fatimids in Cairo. Understand? Baghdad and Fatimi in Cairo have disappeared, but leaving only the traces of the literary texts. These remains of these buildings in the Cairo, Fatimids, in the Fatimids in Cairo or Abbasid Caliph in Baghdad have diminished or the eroded, and only one can find this all the description of the buildings and the structure only in text. Books may only in the text we one can find it, not in real. The remains has been just decayed by the passage of the times. Understand? Or by the passage of time, one can. Next thing is that only literary. The rejection of the representing living being. Now rejection living beings in the religious art of Islam. Now promoted two art form. Here one thing is that we know that now in the true Islamic structure or the true Quranic injunctions. Understand? True rejection. The Islam rejects representing the living beings. Islam rejects the representing the art and design of the living beings. Why? Understand? Because they say that now the creating the human being, living being is only soul right, and the soul rights of only the Allah. Understand? He is the creator of the human being, creator of the world. Only Allah. Nobody or no other, but none of no the human being can't make the creature. So they suppose the art and the drawing, understand, or the creation by the human being, they just opposed. They opposed that. So this was the strictly banned in the true Islamic culture or the true Islamic beliefs. Understand? So moreover, so they reject the living being in the religious art of Islam. So they reject the living being to be the depicted and to be the drawn, and they promote the two art forms. So, but they promote the two calligraphy, a very beautiful writings. They promote that two things: a calligraphy, khatai, calligraphy is called the khatai, or the art of beautiful writing. They promote this khatai, or the art of beautiful writing, and arabesque, the geometric or the vegetables designs. Okay, geometrics of the vegetables design. Small and big inscriptions, usually of the religious quotations, were used to decorate the architectures. Small or religious quotations used to be the decorate the architecture. Calligraphic art has been the best preserved in the manuscripts of the Quran. Best calligraphic writings has been the preserved in the Quran. Best dating from the 8th to the 9th century. Literary works such as the Kitab al-Aghani, Kitab al-Aghani, book of songs, Khalil wa Dimna, I have already mentioned Khalil wa Dimna, or Maqamat of Hariri, understand, where the illustrated with the miniature paintings. These books have been the what the Khalil wa Dimna, or Maqamat of Hariri, okay, or Kitab al-Aghani. These books had been the depicted or illustrated with the miniature paintings. इसमें हम we can find the miniature paintings. In addition, a wide variety of illumination techniques were introduced, or moreover, a wide variety of architectures or the techniques were introduced to enhance the beauty of the book. Beauty of the books, they use the good techniques and very good techniques. Plant and the flora designs have been also depicted, and moreover, the idea of the gardens were used building the book illustration. Idea of the gardens were used in the decorating the books and the buildings, books illustration. Understand? So now, students, so far we have seen that how in the Islamic sculptures, or the Islamic sculptures, what were the included, what were the prohibited. Understand how it was decorated. Understand? We can say, okay. Then the further time is about up. A little bit is left in this chapter, that will be explained in the next. Then after I shall start the new chapters. Understand further. Thank you very much.